And I see it's going to be a little bit choppy here. I hope that the internet is going to be okay. All right. So our topics today. Why are you here? You are here for your self-care. You are here to make a difference in what you're doing for yourself. So let's get started. All right. I see it's being a little bit choppy today. I hope that we're going to have a good reception, and I will do things slowly, so hopefully that will help. So today we are talking about your self-care, how you take care of you, and what you can do through the holidays and through the times here where we can't be gathering with other people, but we certainly can be a part of community. And being a part of community is very, very important. So let's go. I'm going to invite you to grab a wooden spoon, a stick. I have a candy cane today, so I'm going to use that. I'm just going to come up a little bit, but I wanted you to be able to see me, my whole body. All right, and I'm just going to sit myself on the chair. You can see when I'm sitting, this is an energy building approach. So when I'm sitting, I've got my sit bones on the chair. I'm not using the back of the chair, lifting up through the top of the head, and that is energy building. So if you spend a lot of your day back here, you are sedating things for you. You're taking it calm, but you're being calm because you're compacting the lungs and your ability to breathe. You're compacting your organs, their ability to digest and function. You're compacting the heart, so it is harder for it to pump. And you're sitting on your sit bone. And your sit bone is where the cerebral spinal pump sends fluid up the spine into your brain. And so if you're sitting that way, you are actually just completely shutting down all the systems. So what you want to do is be sitting, so that chair, you can see the back of it there. All right, so now let's get involved with what are we going to do with the candy cane or the spoon. So I'm going to use this like a saber, and I'm just going to show you one of the actions that comes from saber. So I'm just going to take this, and if you have a wooden spoon, that'll be fine. The other hand is going to be opposite, and what we're going to do is we're going to go over our shoulder, right shoulder, across to our left shoulder, and then we're going to come down to our hip. All right? So that's the basic action. So we go opposite, over, and out. All right? One more time. Opposite, over, and out. Now, what I'm going to do with this little action is just get you moving and starting to bring some awareness to your feet. So your feet are connected to the floor. They're just shoulder width apart. Ankles are underneath your knees. Okay? And what I want you to do is engage your left foot. So put some awareness into your left foot as you go opposite. And you'll notice your body just opens up to your right. Then I want you to put weight into your right foot and help to bring everything across and bring it down, and then put weight into your left foot and it's going to bring it back out. Okay? So now what we've done is we've done a little massage into the left foot, into the right foot, back to the left foot. Okay? All right, here goes. So into the left foot, open. Into the right foot, cross, into the left foot, bring it out. Okay. Now that little action happens all the way through our saber set, and it is a fantastic way to get a spiral action coming through the body one way and then through the body the other way. And it starts to give you a new way of patterning, but also a way for engaging muscles in opposition, which is fantastic. All right, so let's do one more time. So we have into the left foot, spiral open, into the right foot, comes across, into the left foot, comes down to your hip. Okay, now what I want you to do is the second part. So you're going to take your left hand and put it to your right wrist, and you're going to circle around your head, over the top, and then bring your candy cane forward. Or your wooden spoon. Okay, so we have turn it down, go all the way around, and come out. Now we need some feet to make it a whole body movement. So what I want you to do is, turning the hand, push into that or put awareness into your right foot. It's going to go around and you can just feel the whole opening that comes in. And now what I want you to do is push from your sit bones forward. And you'll bring your weight down into your feet and then you'll be able to bring them back. Okay, so we do that again. So we're going to turn everything up, upside down. Push into your right foot, starts the spiral. Push into the left foot, brings it back to even. Push into your sit bones, forward. Okay, so let's put the whole thing together because those are two parts. So you have weight in your left foot, open. Weight in your right foot, cross. Weight in your left foot, out. Weight in your right foot, weight in your left foot, down. Okay, let's try it one more time. Weight in your left foot, weight in your right foot, weight in your left foot, weight in your right foot, weight in your left foot, forward. Beautiful. Okay, that gives us an introduction to getting that spine moving and working, and that's really important because it's feeding information to the brain and the body how to function together. So now what I'd like you to do is you're just going to hold towards the end of your spoon or your candy cane. And what we're going to do, I'm just going to add some gloves here. So I see I have a few people that are on watching, and I'm looking at the camera and it's looking like it's a little disjointed today. So I apologize if it is. I have no idea why. However, I'm going to put these on, and what we're going to do with our hand at the end of the candy cane is you're going to turn your palm up and you're going to turn your palm down. And we talked about how that makes a difference for your pelvis, but also in your shoulders. So if I hold my palm up on my candy cane and my palm down on my other hand, that's going to come across, and then I can change. So both my hands change, and then I can take and I can say, please see my beautiful candy cane. All right, turn it over. It's going to come back. Flip it over, and it goes again. Okay, so that gives you an idea of the action. Palm up, palm down, flip it over, and you've got the other side. Okay, so now let's add on to that. I'm just going to check my connection in the back. Make sure everything is connected in there. I'm just not sure why it's doing such a jerky kind of action. Actually, let's try this here. I'm just going to turn that off. Okay. Awesome. All right. All these little things about broadcasting you just don't know about. Okay. I just hope this is working for everybody. If you can leave a comment for me and just say, yes, the broadcast is fine for you and you're receiving it, that would be great. And if you can just confirm you can hear me all right, that would also be awesome. Okay, so I'm going to take my candy cane up, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to sweep across, turn the candy cane over, and then take it back. Now I sat down because I can feel my waist turn and I can feel my spine turn in a much better way than if I was doing this standing. So it's a good way to learn how to do this. So here's our candy cane out. What I'm going to do is I'm going to sweep forward down into my feet, turn the candy cane over, And instead of going forward with it, I'm going to push into my left foot and just bring awareness into my left foot so that I can make a spine rotation to the right. So I'm going to turn the cane over, sweep forward, push into the left foot, comes back. Flip it over, sweep, flip it over, spiral back. Okay, so let's just do a few more of those. Sweep forward, turn it over, come back, sweep, turn it over, and come back. Okay, that's one of my favorite actions for just the smoothness, and usually I have a saber in my hand, but I really enjoy what it feels like for that whole experience. When we're doing the saber set, it is the opportunity to really get the spiral action working for us, and that wakes up every muscle group, every organ system, and it wakes up your senses and awareness of how you feel moving in space. It is really, really important. So these couple little exercises are fantastic through the Christmas season. Just sit down and just start playing and play with your feet, how you can push through them. There are lots in the videos that we've done on the Tai Chi Wellness videos, which you can find on YouTube. And so I hope that you will go there and play with the saber part because it is really valuable. Okay, so I see that as a message has come in. Perfect, Sibby, she can hear me. Hopefully it's not too disjointed. Awesome. Okay, so that gives us a little bit with the candy cane. And I really actually wanted to talk about an article that was passed to me about walking and balance, and that things that you should watch for. Walk with awareness, but also be careful of the shoes you have on. Make sure you're on a clear surface, those kinds of things. But what I wanted to talk to you about is how Tai Chi actually trains you to walk well, so you don't have to walk with apprehension. So what I'd like you to do is go for a little walk and just notice what your feet feel like while you're walking. So as I'm stepping and pushing, I can feel the push through my feet because I did that while I was sitting on the chair with the candy cane. I can feel that action, but I can feel the power in my foot, and that's what you're really looking for. Are you walking with power, or are you walking on top? Some people walk more like this, and it may make me look like I'm a bear or something, but they'll do this walk where they try to put their foot down on top of the ground. Now, if you're doing that, you're not getting any power out of the foot, but also when you step onto something uneven, you're actually transferring all your weight over to that foot, and if the ground is uneven, that's when you can fall, or that's when you can twist an ankle. So what you want to do is walk through the foot and feel the floor. Feel the push of the toes on the floor. And notice the power that you get from your walk. That's where you want to do the walk. So if we go to our Tai Chi movements that support that, I'm going to do the little exercise. I'm just going to bring my pant leg up so you can see my feet. And I'm going to go to the exercise where we walk heel to toe and then push through the back foot and then sink. So you go down into your foot. Heel to toe, walk through the foot, sink. Heel to toe. Now I was just saying how if you were placing your foot on something uneven and it's only one foot, you would lose your balance. But right here, what we're doing is we're working on trying to get that foot and the action to come through. I'm just going to move that down a little bit so you can maybe see my foot a little easier. I have all the glare of the light coming through. I have all kinds of little challenges with light today. Okay, so heel, toe, push off the back foot. Push through each toe And when you feel that you're sunk down, so right here, this is bent, like you're going to sit into a chair, you're using the power of your leg, sink down into that foot. So we have heel, toe, and then sink. Heel, toe, push through the toes, sink. Okay, it's a wonderful exercise to get the feet working the way you want. Now we want to go backwards. This is not everybody's favorite. However, it is very powerful. So this one is you're going to go over the top of the toes. Your weight is all on your right foot. If you need to hold on to a chair for balance, you don't have to be a superhero. Just hold the chair. Okay, so I'm going to turn my toes over, and you can see that my ankle here is straight. So my ankle isn't like this. It's actually pulled straight over the top with my toes. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to roll over the top of the toes, feel the toes hit the floor, feel the ball of the foot, feel the side of the foot down into the heel. Okay, again, hold on if you need to. I'm going to take this, see if you can see. I'll put it just a little bit behind rather than right beside, which is where it would be. And I'm just going to put it over the top and then take it, roll it over, through, sink. Over, roll it through, sink. Now, for those people that is a challenge, you can always sit on a chair and you can do the same thing sideways on a chair, pulling that ankle and over on the top with the toes. Okay, and if you can do it there, then I invite you to keeping the ankle straight. You can pull the feet up. You're not quite seeing my toe there. Pulling the foot up. So right there, you now have that. So you can feel the pull across the big toe, probably in the second toe. And that's going to open up the foot. Okay, so let's try it on the other side. So again, this is really simple. You know, you're sitting at the kitchen table. It would be really easy to work on just providing some extra flexibility through your foot. Bringing that up, and then you would just bring it so it's comfortable, and then bring it down. All right? So now what I notice for me is if I haven't done it for a couple of days, my big toe is stiff. And as soon as I start this exercise, it's like, oh, I can feel that big toe. Okay? And I'm just being observant and making sure my ankle is straight so I'm not curving my foot, but actually leaving it straight. And what I will do with that is after I might get this far and it's like, oh, that's enough. My foot is a little stiff. But it doesn't take me very long, only a couple of minutes. And all of a sudden the joint, the big toe joint starts to really move and change. And the power of that big toe starts to change. You have what's called the Babinski reflex. And it's the power that comes out of the big toe that really supports you in how you walk and how you stand. When that is functioning correctly, you have power in your foot, but also you have the support to find balance. Okay? So if you go back up to your walking, and we've now worked a little bit on that toe, now if you go to walk with your foot, walk through your foot, feel the power of the foot as you're coming through. And use the floor, use the ground to really push you forward. And then you are no longer relying on, I'm going to be above the ground and stepping. Okay? So that'll be one thing that can change for you. Now, the advice that came in this article was that you want to watch, because sometimes your posture, as you may get older or as you have challenges, it may go forward or your head comes forward. And so the tendency, if you were going to fall, is typically that you would fall forward. So if my head was doing this and I was walking this way and I stumbled, I would go down. What we do in Tai Chi is we train straight up and down. And I'm just going to pull this back. So straight up and down, sink. Down into the leg, bending at the hip, not bending forward, but actually sinking into that hip and using the leg. And so we want that little action because that is how we protect ourselves, because if we were to fall, maybe we stepped on something or we slid, we would go down. And down is much easier than back to hit your head or forward to hit your head. Nice and gentle. Okay, so let's build some strength now that will help you with that. And we can do it standing, but I find it is better if I do it seated. And this would be seated to standing dawn use. So I'm going to place my feet shoulder width apart. My ankles are going to be just slightly behind my knees. And I'm just going to do the arms first because these are very powerful just by themselves. So you're going to go out with the hands, turn the palms over, bring them back. This is going to come into lower dantian and then let that go back out. Up and out, in and back. Up and out, in and back. So now let me talk a little bit about, you're going to fall into your feet, push into your feet, that's going to send you back. Then it goes sit bone towards the tailbone and then back out again. And you're looking for nice and relaxed, big breath. And when you fall into the feet, you're going to push into the feet to go back. That helps line up your tailbone so that your spine is completely supported and all the muscles are going to work balanced on both sides of the body. And as you push into those feet, you're also going to be gaining strength. Okay, so that's the first part. Now the second part, we're going to go to balance on the foot. So we actually don't get up from the chair, we just balance onto the feet. So we just kind of glide ourselves across. What I like about this one is you're going to glide out and then it'll feel like, oh, there's the end. And then you're going to come back. Okay, so if we try this one, we go out. The head is looking down to the floor, right at the floor. So your spine has a nice long alignment. Come back. Push. Come back. Push. Come back. Push. Come back. All right. So you probably can feel your legs. They're starting to work. This is a fantastic exercise for strength, circulation, getting the lymph fluid flowing, just really waking up all the systems and really building. Okay, as well as building energy. So now we've got part 3. The hands in part 3 are going to travel upwards. Then they're going to turn over and go flat. They're going to scoop back into lower dantian to go up and out. Okay, now from a seated position, if I was not going to go to standing, maybe I couldn't. So then I would go lift, and you can feel go right out the top of the head. You feel a whole back expand and then sink. And you can feel that compactness come back in through the body. Then you have this lift, takes you right up, bring it back down, sink. Take it up, take it down. Okay, so now what we want to do is we actually want to stand. So when our hands go out, we're going to put our weight into the feet, push into the feet, and they glide us up. Sink back down and sit. Chair has not moved. It's in the same place. So when you go to sit down, nothing has changed. And if you have opened up the hip to sit back, the chair is there. Now, this is a lot easier than trying to get out of a chair, twisting yourself around, pushing on the arms, and then putting your weight behind your hip, which is not going to get you out of the chair. That's going to give you some trouble because you're going to have to counter lever it forward. That is not the way to get out of the chair. Out of the chair is there. That's it. Okay, so let's put the whole thing together. So you have into the feet, push back. Glide across, push back. Out of the chair, take that back down, sink. Travels out, take it back. Balance, sink. Up and out, sink. Here we go. Comes back. Balance and back. Take it out and sink. Beautiful. All right. You don't need too many of those in a day. We've already done, I think I did almost 10 of each one practicing. So we've done maybe 35 Dawn U's already. That is awesome. That's more than you would need. So if you did like 5 of that little pattern, that would give you 15 Dawn U's. Walk away, go do something else. That's going to build your strength and power. And that is how you get out of the chair. But let's take it back to walking. And the idea is about safety while walking. Go for your little walk. Feel what your feet feel like on the floor. And then notice the legs. Notice the power in the leg and notice the coordination of the leg that you've engaged by practicing that little action. That is going to give you the power that you need to walk and to walk safely. All right, now sometimes they talk about, you know, take your walking cane with you. Here's my short walking cane, and people will lean over to do the walk, and they'll lean. And you can see already what I've done with my balance. So if you have a cane, you want to make sure that it is the right height for you to walk, and you assist yourself by making sure when you put it down, it's assisting your walk straight forward, not sideways. If it is helping you sideways, that's going to change a little bit of the balance. Okay, so let's leave that. And let's go to some of the exercises I did last week with you with the feet. And that was taking the toes up and then putting the weight down. And you got to spread your toes out and then push into the toes. And that's just going to give you, you can, if you want, rise onto your heels. It's up to you. So the toes come up, put them down into the floor, rise. Push and rise. So you can feel that difference happening in the foot. All right, now that is just our feet that we're focused on. So let's add the hands. We did this last week from low cup. Heel of the hand is pushing forward. So this goes rise up, sink. Now we don't need to flip back right into the heels with the toes up. Just sink down into your whole foot now. And you're going to rise up and then sink but down. Rise up. Whoop. I looked over at you and I lost my balance. Okay, try that again. My eyes are focused straight this time. There we go. And then sink. And I focus on the heel of the hand. I find that my balance right away is much easier. And one more. Up and sink. Right. Okay, so that little exercise, just rising up onto the toe, you're looking at making sure your ankles don't wobble or roll when you go up, but if you bring them together, keep them together on the rise up and the rise down. Keep them together there, okay? All right, so now we've done that little bit of work through the foot. Last week we did roll one side of the foot. Sorry, I'll move and then over. So just feeling your weight on the bottom of the foot. Now I'm doing this so you can have awareness, just experience with it. Take them both out, take them both in, take them both out, take them both in. And that's just giving you awareness all the way through your foot. But let's go to a brush knee. And this is where you really start to learn about the foot and how you're placing your weight down on it. So I'm just going to move my extra chair here out of the way. And the brush knee, I'm going to come towards you a little bit on an angle, so hopefully that helps. You're going to go turn the right toe to 45, open the right hand, left hand is going to come to the front, sink down, put all your weight onto that right foot, place with the left foot, and now what we're going to do is we're going to bring the elbows in, turn, square, sink, twist. There's your balance. Step, comes through, push, twist, step, and push. So we usually don't do this exercise thinking about balance, but since that's part of my theme today with your self-care, let's just see what we can do with that. So I have my left foot in the front, my right hand is out, my left hand is pushing to the bottom. I'm now going to go backwards with ward-off monkey. And the reason that I'm going to do this, sink back, so you're sitting on your right leg, step with the other foot, the right hand pushes through, the left hand comes to lower dantian. Now the reason I'm doing this is when you walk backwards, this changes what the body knows about movement because most of the time you go forwards. And this little action has you moving backwards. It also has you really grounding into that back foot. Open, so you step patois, put all the weight down onto that foot, sink. Open, step patois, sink, push. Okay, now the reason I did that is for you to understand forward and backward movement, but the other piece that I wrote down for today was about stress release and calming. This is my favorite exercise for that to happen. There's something about the pattern of forward and back that just completely calms the whole system down. So I'm going to do it again. So maybe what I'll do is I'll turn around and maybe that'll be helpful if you're trying to follow. So I'm going to open my right side, open my right hand, step with the left foot and push through. Twist step, open the left, balance onto that left foot and step through. Twist step, step with the left foot, push through. Twist step, step with the right, push through. Twist step, step with the left, push through. Okay, so now you're going to sink back, open the right hand, put your weight in the right foot, step patois, and then push your hand through, sink. Palm is up to your belly button. Open that left, step, turn the right hand so the palm is up, it comes to the belly button. Open, step, push. Open, step, push. Open. All right, so that gives you a couple of ways that you can put the movement together. It's a really good calming activity. And if you didn't want to do the brush knees, but you wanted to do those walks I showed you before, walking forward and then walking backwards, you have that same forward and backward, and immediately the breath starts to go down, body starts to relax, calmness sets in, and you're so focused on what you're doing with your feet, your brain can stop for a little bit. You can have a bit of a rest. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the arms here because these are very good for creating some synergies happening through the core of the body and with your breath and with your heart and circulation, but also just the action. I just want to bring that in. So we relax. And as your elbows bend, you can feel that sink down onto the sit bone. And then the hands are going to turn. So one goes palm up, the other one is going to go palm out. And right there, you're going to keep it so your shoulders are square and your hip is square. And this is where you learn about centering the body. Everything is lined up across the same plane or direction. So now I'm going to turn the left hand and open it. And as I do that, you can feel the change happen through your back, through your shoulder. There's an expansion, and then the hands are going to turn. So the right hand turns to come towards lower dantian, elbows come in, and this is going to go line up straight. So now left hand continues out, right hand is going to go out, sink, let that come in, and push through. You may notice your lower back. There's this beautiful little sink that happens for the lower back. And as you line up right here, that's where you'll start to notice it. It expands that lower back, and then we have this beautiful mini spiral. Elbow's going to drop, sink, and let that come through. One more. Open. So there's a bit of a rise there. Turn, sink. Right. Okay. So we have this pumping action that's coming through the body. We have from the sit bone towards the tailbone. You're not leaning on it, but it just finds the sweet spot where the lower back just gets a little chance to relax. And then we have this spiraling that is massaging all the internal organs at the same time. Okay, that's the action of the brush knee. But now let's go to ward off monkey. So the ward off monkey, it would be elbows in, palm turns, comes to lower dantian, push out, expand, sink. I'm thinking that's what I just did on the last one. I was so busy talking about all the other pieces, trying to get the action in there, thinking I'm duplicating myself instead of the brush knee. Okay. What I'm going to talk about next, regardless of whether I did this before or not, there's so much I want to make sure I tell you. We're going to do a little bit of an extension. So when you open up here, what I want you to feel is expand. Expand, expand, expand as much as you can. And you'll notice as you try to go open with your hands, I'll come this way a little bit. So you try to go open with your hands, your head rises at the same time. So you have a lift, an expansion, expand, sink. It comes through. Okay, now when we get to here, what I want you to notice about this right hand is it's going to continue to go, and then all of a sudden, yes, I did practice this before, it expands out, lift, 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 sink, comes through. Okay, so now if we did it with the brush knee, so you have that open, sink, palm goes down this time, and right here is a square of the hip, and then a pull, open. So you can feel that difference in there. Hands come in, turn, square, sink. And just feel that expansion, open. Now I'm going really slow here, and that's because we can learn so much about where it doesn't quite function. So there'll be like disjointed or doesn't coordinate movement. And moving nice and slow means you have the opportunity to really engage, expand, out, right? So for those people that are looking for a core workout, the body actually is working all the way through the muscles in a spiral action, but also contract and expand. And that's something that you end up getting really good strength patterns that are going to come from all of that. Okay, so let's go to the Tai Chi set, which we've been practicing, and we've been doing the 17. We were working on some other pieces too. But let's just go to the 17. And with some of the ideas we talked about today with walking and with balance, centering, gravity, grounding, all those pieces, let's just put it all together in there, okay? So I'm going to, I know if I face right to the back, you can't always see my hands. So what I'm going to do is face a little bit to the corner for you. Okay, so, and I'll call out which direction you're going to go. So let's just start with the bow. So the hands are going to open, come in front of the forehead. Ladies, grab the left thumb, gentlemen, grab the right, making a yin-yang symbol. You're going forward, then push into your feet, and you can either go up the way you came or come up from the bottom. And we talked about feeling the energy come up through the center of the body and then let that go. Okay, so now what you're going to do is commencement, so pushing through the feet, and then sink. Okay, and then put your weight from the center where it's balanced into your left foot, turn your right toe, and let your left heel go. Hold the ball, step to the left, left grasp bird's tail. Hold the ball, step to the right, fingertip goes into your wrist, bow and arrow back, palm to palm, open the hands, and then two hands are going to go out. Sinking back, turning around with your whole right leg, spiral on the left, reach across, step, and this is going to extend. Now you're facing to your left side. Sink back into your right, turn the toe. Heel goes out, sink. Foot, hand. This is going to come across, placing the foot. White stork spreads wings. Expand, sink, drop. Open, place the foot, and brush knee. Half a step, push back. Heel goes out, sink. Open the hands, step and brush knee. Twist step. So here's your brush knee pattern. Step with your right foot, twist step. Step with your left foot, brush knee. Half a step, heel goes out, sink. I'm just going to back up a little bit because I'll run out of room. Open the hand, step with your left, brush knee. Twist step, hold the flowers, step pas quoi, in, out, wipe the sleeve, step through, and do your punch. Wipe the sleeve, two hands, comes around, left side, right side, sink. Crossing over, and let that go. Okay, for those people that don't know the first 17 moves, that might have been a lot for you. And if it was, that's okay. Don't worry about it. I'm just going to pull out a couple of pieces that comes from the flow of that. So one of the things that we work on in Tai Chi is placing the foot, putting your weight down, finding that buoyancy in the position so that you're really stable on that foot. Place the foot and then push the weight from one foot to the other foot. And this massaging on the bottom of the foot is waking up the body. You can feel that coming back and forth. The other piece that we're doing is this turning piece. So at the beginning, our hands came down. I said, put your weight over to the left, and that frees up the whole right side, the whole leg, to be able to turn the whole thing out. And you could easily just do, see, I can probably get in a little bit closer. You could easily do turn the foot, but it would only get to the 45. And we need you to turn the whole thing to open it right to the side. And our action of sinking down, fingers would be here, sinking down into the left leg and finding that power in the leg to be able to open the right side and then spiral the left side. Okay, and if I do that from here, do it towards you, it goes open and the back heel is going to let go, spiral. So you can see how I brought my hips all the way around to square. This is important because you're learning about how to open up in the hip socket, and that's that little action. It comes again at the end of the set. The end of the set, you had your left foot out and your hands were out to the side. And then we go push back into your right foot. And the hands are going to come up for a pier to close entrance. And what you're going to do is turn not just your foot, but you're going to turn your whole leg, and actually the whole side of the body is going to turn in to bring your foot from directly to the side, 90 degrees to face the front. And then when you shift your weight over to that left foot, you're going to actually unwind the whole right side of the body by turning that heel. Now I could say, turn the left, turn the right. But then you probably would only do your foot. And what I really want you to do is sink, whole left side, sink, whole right side, line it up, feel it when it's lined up, sink. And even while you're here in that position that's sunk down, crossing over, place, push up, and then let that go. Okay, I see the chat box. Wonderful. So Yvonne was on, Doug was on. That's great. I know you guys have a busy day today. Anyway, I'm glad. Thank you for the chat box because it really helps me to know you. Number one, you can see the broadcast. You can hear me okay. And if you have any comments or anything that you can add into the chat box, that's wonderful because then I know I can help you better. Okay, so you have had open, fold everything in, spiral everything out, engage everything straight, and know that you can trust that leg when you go to stand on it. And when you have to adjust your foot, you know how to push your weight from one foot back to even, sink. That's what we're looking for, because now I want you to go for a walk. We've walked through a whole bunch of different patterns. Just go for your walk now and notice how easy it is to take the walk and feel the power come out of your foot. When we first did it, you probably went by my suggestion and you were thinking about it, and it was a little bit of effort. But now what we have is this beautiful push that is just coming straight through. And that's how you're able to get the body to relax, calm the system, find your balance, find your gravity, find where you are in space and be really aware, and then be able to do what you need to do. That's your Tai Chi journey. So as many of you, I know the latest things that were coming out this morning, a lot more classes are being shut down. They'll probably be shut down till the middle of January, and all of us are going, oh my goodness, how will we cope? Well, we cope, one, by doing our own self-care. Make sure you take the time to bring your Tai Chi into your everyday routine. Put a few Danyus at the kitchen sink while you're washing the dishes. You're waiting for the kettle to boil. Turn your hands. If you are feeling a little bit stressed because you've been in isolation for a bit, reach out to someone by telephone. Reach out by waving at the neighbor. Just try to engage with them the best that you can. I'm just seeing... Sibby just said she feels like she's walking straighter. Perfect. Awesome. Thank you, Sibby. But really, be aware of what's going on for you. And if you're not feeling well, find a piece of music that really motivates you. Put the music on and start something. Start something like a toe tap. Start something like a twist. Start moving the hands. This is one of my favorites. It doesn't have, you know, it would be like belly dancing if I wanted to put that in there. But from the Tai Chi set, we actually do a pattern, actually low cup, like this, where we actually use the hands that way. And it actually opens things up for us, and it can change the way you feel. So I'm just going to reach out to you to say, you have the resources. You know you're going to see me on Friday morning. You know you can plug into any of the recordings that we have done since last March. You know that you can see the recordings that were done very specifically if you want to learn some of the set. Please take advantage of those videos. Feel that you're connecting with either Doug, Yvonne, or I with each time that you go to a video. And know that on Fridays, I'm here. I'm excited. If you were going to write in the chat box at me, that would be wonderful. I'll take any comments. I want to connect. And know that your Tai Chi is going to help carry you through, and that everything you do is boosting that immune system. All of that is going to help you. Every time you calm down, deep breathe, all the time, reboosting the system. Okay, so let's finish off with something that I love all the foundation exercises, and you can find them on the YouTube channel. But what I'm going to do is just this one here, parting bamboo. So bringing the hands up, turn the hands and out. And the reason I enjoy this one is because I find a way to get back to my feet again. So the hands are going to go out towards the corner, turn the palms, everything's going to go back, and you'll notice your hips and back. If you let them go, you can feel the change happen as your hands hit the back. Turn the hands, and as you're coming back in, push into the feet. And you'll notice that power that comes into your foot, into your legs. And then this is going to open. So you're thinking nice and long with the neck, out the top of the head, expand the shoulders and the head, sink. Feel the hips relax, feel the lower back let go. Push. That engages everything back up again. Expand. Lift, 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 lift. Turn. Sink. Pull through. Open. Expand. Lift. Sink. Comes through. Expand. Lift. Sink. And through. Okay. And I gave you that one because that one gets your breathing flowing, opens up the whole lung area, and it also helps the heart to beat easier. So circulation is supported just with that little action. So if you have a cough, a cold, having some trouble, anything in the respiratory tract, circulation, you've been sitting too much and you haven't been moving, that's a really great way to get started. And it is your job to just get that circulation flowing with that toe tap, and you can bring that in. Okay, so I am here till we get up to Christmas Eve, and I am very aware that there are going to be a lot of people who are going to be navigating the challenges of the Christmas season. So I will be on for the Fridays, and then we're just in discussions of some other things that we can do to help support you and be there for you if you need anything extra over the Christmas holidays. So please check into the videos, come and join me Facebook Live. Please put something in the chat, and just know that I love you. Take care.